Hello everyone, how are you all doing today? Hope your week's going well. You may know that this week I will be showing you a lesson that I did with Claudia. She won a competition last year to have a free lesson. So this is the lesson that we did a little while ago, and if you like what you see, if you like my technique, and you want to be taught by me as well, then you can just get in touch. You can contact me on Facebook, and we can sort out a lesson. The first lesson is free. I always give a free lesson to start off with, and then if you want more, then we can sort out a price for you. Okay, so enjoy the lesson and have a great week. Bye bye.
Hey,
Oh,
let's
yeah, no more
let's
like
let's start
sound.
again.
Okay.
How
How are
how
you doing, Rob?
I'm really well, thank you. I've had quite a nice Christmas with my family in
Hmm.
back in cold England. It's raining right now outside.
Oh, really? Huh.
Yeah, yeah, it's raining.
Well, here it's raining like almost every day,
Oh,
so it's okay.
that's true because it's summer
Summer.
and it rains a
Hmm.
lot in summer, doesn't it? There.
Yeah.
Well, here it rains.
Okay.
It rains here in summer, winter, autumn, every season.
Yeah, so it's like normal for you.
Yeah, exactly. How has your Christmas been?
It's been good. Like I spent the Christmas Eve here at home with my family,
Okay,
and I just like went to church, and that's all.
fantastic. Did you sing carols? You know, songs, Christmas songs at church?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm.
that's yeah. When I used to go to church a long time ago, that's the best part, the singing.
Yeah.
That's
Yes. It's like so nice.
what everyone enjoys. And did you get any presents?
Yes,
Yeah.
I got few gifts.
We,
How about you?
yeah, not many because we don't really buy presents for the adults because we've got lots of well, I don't happily have children, but
Hmm.
all of my siblings do. So yeah, they got the chance to have all of their presents there. So it was really good,
Hmm.
really fun. Um, and I was just thinking about my because one of my nieces wasn't there, but I think her present was in the bag, and I think somebody else must have opened it. Oh no!
Mm.
Unless I left it here, it might be in my room somewhere. Hopefully, otherwise I've just given her present to someone else. But yeah, so
Oh,
you're getting this is your award. This lesson. It's a a free lesson because you did the second most answers to a competition I did last year. Well, not no, it was this year, but a long time ago. Um, so
well, it was like still this year, right?
it was no, it was still this
We're
year,
still in
but
2017, huh?
almost last year. Oh yeah, almost last year. So it was a long time ago. Maybe I don't know, 8 months ago, 9 months ago. So
Yeah.
and I was speaking to you about what you wanted to improve, and you said connectors. So we
Connectors.
can look at connectors in a moment. But first, I always like to play a game with my students when we start the lesson
Okay, there we go.
because it gives you practice speaking.
Okay.
And we're going to look at adjectives, okay? So it's important to learn many adjectives to increase your vocabulary.
Hmm.
So I'm gonna ask you some questions about certain adjectives, and then you can gives you practice to speak about those adjectives, and maybe
Okay.
use more adjectives to describe it. So talk about somebody who is famous.
Just like using adjectives.
Well, no, the adjective is famous. That's the adjective,
Ah,
but
okay.
it's just a chance for you to. You don't have to use. You don't have to just focus on I'm using adjectives. You'll be using many words. It's more to do with talking about an adjective and to practice
Hmm.
speaking.
Okay. Well,
Someone
something.
famous. Is there anybody famous that you admire? That you admire a lot?
Mm. When you said the adjective famous,
Yes.
the first thing that came up in my mind,
Yes.
it was like the Queen Elizabeth.
Oh, really? Ah.
And it's not because I'm talking with you, but really, when you said like famous, I thought about her.
Really, the Queen? Well, it must have something to do with the fact that it's an English lesson. No?
Yeah.
English is
No,
in your...
I don't know. Maybe it's, I don't know. I just thought.
Okay, and what
Or
do you...
maybe because here, like, there's like a lot of news about Prince Harris that he's going to
Prince Harry, he's
get
getting
married.
married. Yep,
Yeah.
yep.
So maybe that's why. I don't know.
That's how it works. Whatever's in your mind. So Queen Elizabeth. Well, and tell me about Queen Elizabeth. What do you know about her?
Let's see. I guess she's like 80 years or so,
I
or
think
90. I'm not sure.
she's
I'm not
old. She might. I think
Yeah.
she's in 90 now, or close to 90.
Yes, I think so.
She's been around
Uh,
for a while.
yeah. It's like unbelievable that it's, I guess, England is just one or another country that still has like a queen
Yes.
or a king.
Well, we will have a king next.
Yeah.
It will be either Charles, if he's still, if he's still alive. He might just pass it on to his son, William.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
you know, he's been waiting a long time, Charles. But his mother,
Mhm.
she's sticking around. I'm sure she's got very good. She's got very good health care.
Yeah.
All right, so
And then we have like Prince Williams and all those stuff.
yep. All right, so she's very famous. Talk about something that is boring.
Boring.
Yep.
Mm. Oh, something that really annoys me. People selling things on the train.
Okay, say that sentence again. People.
People selling
Oh, selling,
things on the
selling
train.
things on
Yes,
the train.
selling. Yes.
Fantastic.
It's
Yes,
really annoys me. Like a
yes.
lot of people, water and
Always,
whatever.
always.
You
Yeah, I
just
know.
want to go back home, in a calm and silent environment. But no, always there's like a lot of people. Okay,
This is true.
that's somehow.
This is if people that are watching this aren't from Brazil, they won't they may have that in their country, but in Brazil, you have it on the metro. No, not on the metro actually, but the
Yes,
CP
we have a petrol.
on the metro
CPTM.
sometimes on the CPTM as well. People just
Yeah,
selling things.
sometimes you can find on the subway as well.
Really.
It's like less than on the CPTM,
Yeah.
but you can also find.
I had an experience where I bought some things from them, and they didn't work.
Oh, really? You
Yeah.
didn't like try to check if they were working at the time when you
Well,
bought?
it was a USB. You know those USB
Oh,
that you get and you
yeah,
can't
yeah.
check it. You just hope for the
Oh.
best, which was really silly. So my advice would be to anyone: no, don't buy it. Don't buy those
Yes,
USBs.
I agree.
They're broken. They don't work. I was
Oh,
thinking that these are really cheap. These are
yes, they are.
and them. I was thinking there must be a reason, but I took a risk, you know, and it wasn't even that.
Yeah.
It wasn't a massive loss, but still,
Uh-huh.
it happens. So that is that. Okay, so you say it's boring. So because boring for me is when something is dull. You know, dull. Let me get it up here. So it's good to write these words down. So boring is similar to dull. So Like, for example, you may be watching something on TV and it's
Really, I don't watch TV at all.
good.
Really, for me, it's like too boring.
Well, exactly, it is
They all
boring.
like always talking about like tragedies all the time. So
Yeah.
they don't like tell us like good things. So
No.
why should I watch the news?
It's very true. But yeah, that's why that can be quite boring or dull. Or a program might be dull or boring. But these people on the train, you think that you say it's boring. You're bored
Like the
by
situation is like, yeah, I feel like bored because I'm just like going back home,
right.
and then like all the time people water, two highs. There's like a lot of maybe 20 or 30 people like all the time like saying water.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh.
Could you give me some other adjectives? Because if it was me, I might say it's irritating. More than boring for me. Irritating. Let me just write it out for you. Make sure spell it correctly. Irritating. What about for you? Can you think of any other adjectives?
No. Give me a discount. So it's like it's a Wednesday morning. My brain is like still waking up.
Okay. I suppose it is actually. So what time is it there? It's like 11:30.
Yeah, it's 11. But yesterday,
yep,
I slept late. I told you that I'm not working, so I was helping a friend.
Yep.
He's from United States, and I'm helping him with Portuguese lessons.
So you're a Portuguese teacher?
So, yeah, kind of.
There you go, kind of. Well, anybody's watching this that wants to learn Portuguese, Claudia can teach you. Well, if anyone's watching this who wants to learn Portuguese, I certainly couldn't teach you that. I need help. I need help with that.
So we can schedule like once to just like speaking Portuguese, just Portuguese.
That's true. I do. That's what I should.
As we are trying to do on your farewell, but at the end we're just like speaking just in English.
Yeah, yeah. I tried, but it's difficult, and all my friends speak English, so that was the problem.
So that's why when I talk with like my friend, once we just speak in English and then just in Portuguese. So we start switching, one in Portuguese, one in English.
And it works?
Yes.
He must be more he must be more dedicated than me.
But wait, we will schedule one in Portuguese.
Okay.
Soon.
And I think next time I come to Brazil, I'm gonna have like one day of the week where it's just Portuguese.
So just one day.
Is that not enough?
No.
Oh, but I was just thinking, of course, other days I can speak Portuguese, but that day is like regimented.
But tell me one thing.
Yes.
Do you practice Portuguese like every day?
No. Certainly not now.
That's the point.
That's the point. And even in Brazil, I didn't. Yeah. Yeah, I know you're right, but it's true because I'm always saying.
I used to say like every day. I used to practice. Otherwise, I would forget. Right.
Yeah.
So the same with Portuguese.
It's true. I don't give myself my own advice. I always say to my students, "You got to be speaking every day." But it is.
And then Rob is not doing the same.
I'm not. I mean, I'm just lazy, but also, you have more opportunity to be involved in English because you've got lots of movies and music that if you're not with your friends, you can put a film on, listen to music. I mean, I could do that, I guess, with Brazilian films and Brazilian music, but there's not as many. That's my excuse. Anyway, let's get back to teaching you English. So if you think about if you think about any adjectives for those people on the train during the lesson, you bring them out. All right, talk about something that is new. New.
No. New.
New. What's new?
What is new?
Have you bought anything that's new? Do you have anything new in your life?
No. No.
Well, you got some presents. They're new.
Oh, yes. I got a book.
Okay. Which book did you
I don't
get?
know where is like the book is now, but it's a book in Spanish called The Príncipe, no, Príncipe de la Niebla.
In
It's
Spanish.
Spanish.
So you can speak
Yeah.
Spanish as well.
Yeah.
Very, very impressive. Very impressive. All right. Talk about somebody who is strong. Strong. So I want you to think of. I want you to think of two people. Someone who is physically strong, and another that is mentally strong.
Physically strong.
Yeah.
My uncle.
Okay.
And mentally strong. I can say like I consider myself as a person with strong mentality.
Oh, okay. So you say I find myself as someone with a strong mentality.
Yeah.
With a strong mentality. Brilliant. So you're and how are you strong mentally? Have you always been strong mentally, or is it something that you've learned and you've improved?
I think I improved. So I think it was like a process.
Okay.
And when I decided to go abroad to live in Canada,
Yep.
so it was a process, because you need to believe in yourself that you can do things. Doesn't matter if you have like problems, whatever. You need to keep believing that you can do that.
Very true.
And then at the end, I just went to Canada. I came back to Brazil, and I'm like thinking to go back again. So
Yeah.
I'm in the same process again. So
Yeah.
it's quite a journey.
It's always about just life is a journey, and you just need to find a way to get what you want out of life. And you did it the first time. You had an incredible experience in Canada.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sure.
And how
I can say that it was like one of the most great experience that I ever had.
Yeah, one of the most the most great. Would you say most great? Because I guess you could.
Yeah,
Because great is the superlative. Or
yeah,
it's not. It's not.
so, yeah.
It's kind of. It's an adjective, and to say the most great. I guess that does make sense. I don't. I've never really heard it before.
I was like, I was supposed to say another word, but at the time I just said great.
Yeah. Well, think of another word. Give me another word. The most. A better adjective. Because great is very common. It's used all the time.
Okay.
And also it gives the experience more colour, more meaning, with a better adjective.
Mm-hmm. Could I say it was like a marvelous experience?
Perfect. That's brilliant. That's really well said. Marvelous experience. Okay, was that? Oh yeah, that was the strong. And the last one. Talk about something that is modern.
Cell phones?
What is that? Explain what that is. Could you write it?
Say it again.
Could you write it?
I said cell phone.
Oh, cell phones. Oh, cell phones.
Yes, cell phones.
Cell phones. Modern. Well, they're not really modern. They've been around for about 20 years.
But they're improving.
They are. So you could say like you could say a new cell phone. So, is your cell phone modern? Is it the latest cell phone? Or is it no? What one do you have?
I have a Motorola G3.
I don't know those ones. I'm an Apple man. Although my one's
At
broken
least
again.
when I was working at the last company, I
Yeah.
had one Apple, but really for me, it wasn't like, I don't know, I'm used to like to use Android, for years.
Android, okay.
So when I used like an Apple, it wasn't like a good experience. So I always got lost. I didn't know how to get like the settings on the mobile.
Yep.
So it's okay.
People stick to what they're used to. It's because I can't imagine changing to another mobile phone. It has to be Apple for me. But I just wanted to go back over something you said. I think you said I used to, or I was using, or I'm used to using. But I don't think you said using. I think you said used Android. But it's better to use the past continuous. So I have been or using Android phones in the past.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I'm used to. Okay, yeah, my iPhone is it's broken again.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean it's the antenna is broken. The guy, you may have seen my post on Facebook about a guy.
Yes, I saw.
Yeah, and he fixed it. He first fixed it, then he had to come and fix it again, and clean it. So I need to clean it again, and I'm going to contact Apple to see if I can get a new antennae. They're going to charge me stupid amounts, I'm sure. But I need to find a screwdriver small enough to open it up. They got the tiniest screws.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm going to do. So okay, so that's the game over. Let's go into connectors. So tell me what you know about connectors. Because I mean they're used all the time. They connect parts of sentences, clauses. When you've got two things that you're comparing, perhaps, or that are together.
Yeah.
So it's
or like connectors for reason or from conclusion or this kind of things.
Yeah. So if you're talking about
as I'm
go. You speak. I want to hear.
As I'm planning to take the IELTS exam next year,
okay,
and I started studying for it, so I might write 2 essays.
Say again. You have to write 2 essays.
Yes.
Okay. On what?
And one, I need to the first one, I need to analyze like a chart, a table.
Okay.
And the second one, they will give me like a subject, and I need to write about it. Like if I agree, if I disagree, and I need to write like the introduction, like the body, and the conclusion.
Okay.
So I need to use connectors, right?
Yeah, of course you do. Of course you do. Do you know what those questions are? Have they already given you those questions? Or not?
No.
Okay.
They always ask you something about subjects of the daily life. Like they can ask, what do you think about overrate, for example?
Overrate?
Yes.
Overrate. Okay, so in terms of what? Overrate of what?
Like people. For example,
overweight. Overweight. Do you mean like overweight people?
Yeah.
Okay, overweight. And what do you think? This is a way you can practice. What do you think about overweight people?
Considering that nowadays people just eat junk food.
Yes.
So I think that's like a result of how people, they are not eating healthy food.
Okay, so you can shorten that sentence. You can say it's a result of how people are not eating healthy food. Because I think you added a few extra words in there. When you think about people, they are not. No, the day is not necessary. So again, that's a part of again English logic is it's like the opposite of the logic of the Portuguese. The other way around. So we condense words, and that's with connectors and contractions as well. We can talk about. There's a few issues that a lot of my students have with contractions and when to use them, especially when talking about the past. When you're using, well, if you were talking about the past, you might use did. So the past of do is did. Whenever you're using did or didn't, you don't need to use the verb in the past tense. You probably know this, but a lot of my students don't. So it's a really important note for anybody learning English. So if you're talking about, just try to think of an example. So the past of walk is
Worked.
no. Well, that's work. I said walk, but we could.
Okay.
But either. So work, it worked. Walk, walked. So I walked to the shops yesterday. But if I'm using did, it would be I did walk.
Yep.
I wouldn't say I did walked, or I worked yesterday, or I did work yesterday, rather than I did worked. So whenever you're using did, people always use the present tense verb. Also, another note that I don't know if I told you this already. Somebody, was it you yesterday or someone else was talking about? When you're using the contracted two words. So when you're talking about either yourself, it's a personalized contraction. So I am becomes I'm.
Yeah.
I will becomes I'll. I have becomes I've. But when you're using those, you can never end a sentence with that contraction. Because sometimes I've asked a question like, will you be somewhere tomorrow? And they just send a message, I'm. So rather than saying I am, they would just put I'm, and you can't do that. So I don't know if you're
talking about this. Clarify one doubt that I have.
Sure.
Do you think when you're talking with someone, it's okay for me to use contraction, right?
Of course.
But when I'm like writing an email or a message from someone,
yes.
Do you think it's better to all the time use like I am, I did not, do not, and whatever?
I would use contractions always, personally.
Okay.
But just don't use them at the end of a sentence.
Okay.
If it's a personalized one. So if it's like I'm or you'll or will or we've, can't end a sentence with that. But if it was like didn't or haven't, then that's fine, because it's not a personalized one. It's did and not didn't. So you can say we didn't, full stop. But you couldn't say like if you want to say we're not or we weren't. Could you say that weren't? You could say that weren't, because that's we were not. So that were not, but it's not personalized. So just trying to think. We are, were, or weren't. Again, it's like say, or if it's you, you've, you have. You couldn't end a sentence with you've or you'll.
Okay.
But yeah, in an email, generally it's just to write quicker and and to speak quicker.
So I asked you about it because when I was working in a multinational company, I used to send and receive lots of emails from United States.
Okay.
And mostly I was just like writing do not, did not. I don't know if I thought like it wasn't like, I don't know, good to use that, but I was just, instead of writing I didn't,
Yeah.
I was like I did not, I cannot, and everything was like I will not. I don't know,
Yeah.
maybe I thought it's kind of something not informal. I don't know.
Yeah, I think sometimes you might think that it's too informal to use contractions, but I would always
Oh,
advise you to use
okay.
contractions, because if you don't, it sounds a little unnatural.
Ah,
It sounds a bit unnatural. It's like you're using too many words when you can just
yes.
shorten the sentences.
It's like will not is like won't.
Won't, exactly. That's one that might trip people up, because the majority of the time, well, in fact, that's the only one that isn't a traditional contraction, because
Yeah,
will not would
it's kind of
be
tricky.
is
Yes.
it becomes won't rather than
Yeah.
wilt, which would make sense. But this is I look
Yeah, it will
my
be
research.
strange. It will be like wilt.
Yeah, but that's the only one. All the rest, I believe, are just one or two letters taken off, replaced by an apostrophe. Okay.
Okay. Thanks for the tip.
No, that's it.
I'll
That's what I'm here
start like
for.
writing.
I'm going to have a little look now at just some test you with some questions about connectors. The most common connector actually is the and. So when you're talking about two nouns, maybe your friends. So
Mm-hmm.
John and Peter are coming round
Mm-hmm.
tonight. That's
Yeah.
one of the most common
I'm
connectors.
going to eat a banana and an apple.
Exactly. What about if it was you're talking about one thing, and then you use a very common one as well, which begins with a B, because I don't want to say it, but I guess I could say it. Well, let me get to that in this little bit. Well, it's but, so we could do this, but this could happen. That's again another connector. Again, a very common one, but it's not. It's very different to and. What other words could you use instead of and? Other connectors that means the same thing.
Although, even though, in this,
Yeah.
more. I think it's like as I know, I need to use them like in a essay.
Yeah.
They sound more,
They
So
sound more
this kind
formal.
of like easy ones, as you mentioned before, like and but. I just think like, wow, they are connectors as well. But I never thought about it, because you just think about like the ones that you might use it, like the although, even though, nevertheless, despite, and etc.
But
So
you know a lot of
like
them.
the easy ones, yeah. So you just like forget about them.
But you know a lot of them, and so those ones you used. Give me an example of when you would use them. So let's just think of one that you said. You said despite. Despite. How would you use that in a sentence?
Mm. Mm. Oh my! It's like how you can use, but to explain how you use is like I don't know.
What does it mean? What does it mean? Despite.
Mm. Oh my gosh.
All right, I'll give you. Listen, I'll give you an easy one. Okay, I'll give you an easy one.
Okay.
I think. Well, what about this word? This connector.
Okay, so. Oh my god, I'm not like good at explaining things like today. Definitely.
It's almost midday. It's almost midday. You can't use.
I spent like at least like It's because I woke up a little bit late today, because
All right.
I slept almost 2 p.m. 2 a.m. So my brain is still. And you didn't notice, or maybe you did, that I mixed the past, coming back like what you were talking before, the did and the verb. I wrote wrong, and then I realized it's like, I mixed it up.
When was that in your words or how you wrote? Did you write it down, or was it in your words?
Yes, when I sent you a message with my Skype account,
Okay.
I just missed, and then I noticed like, oh.
Let me have a look.
Then I just correct.
It was on here on the Skype, so I can have a look.
No, on a Facebook message.
On a Facebook message. Oh yeah, okay. So let me just check. Oh, you said just mixed. I didn't understand what that message meant. I just mixed. Did I tell you? I've no idea what that means.
Check the previous message.
Did I told you? Yeah. Very good. Yeah. There you go. So, and what should it be?
Yeah, sometimes it's kind of tricky, as you said. So I think like, okay, I might write, did I tell you? But sometimes it sounds like automatically in your mind. So it's like, did I told you?
Yeah.
And then realize like, okay, just if you say, I told you, so okay, but did I tell you?
Yes.
And then,
well, this is fantastic that you made that mistake, but you knew you'd made it. And that's the perfect way to
I think
to learn.
For me, when I'm like chatting with someone, after I wrote, I read the sentence again so that I can recognize if I made a mistake. So I have the test like, oh, sorry, I just wrote wrong.
Yeah, well, you're doing what most people should do, but unfortunately, the internet is mainly people that don't. They just write and then they just press send without rereading what they've written, and that's why there's so many mistakes.
One thing that I really avoid, and I can tell you that I hate using it, is like the corrector. The cell phone, for example.
Okay.
I hate these, so I prefer to type like each word, like did I tell you my Skype account?
Okay.
Really, I think it's better. So it's a way for me to keep practicing my English. So I know how to spell that word, how to write it wrong or right, But people, I think this is one thing that students, they're like, okay, I have it. So if you start writing morning and then like you just write more and then morning. Yeah. But I don't think it's useful.
No. But this is really good.
My friends, my friends is like, when they write like a word wrong, and I was like, it was like the corrector, right? And I was like, yeah. And I was like, no, I don't like it. No.
Well, but it's brilliant that you do this, because anyone watching this that wants to improve their English, you do the same as Claudia, because your English is really good and you're improving all the time, and this is how you improve. I need to do that with Portuguese.
Yeah, great.
All right, I'm gonna write a sentence now. I'm gonna give you a sentence, and well, I'll show you. You can see this. There's an empty word there, and you can use more than one connector.
Oh wait, let me check here.
So just give me a few connectors you can use for that sentence to make sense.
Okay, he learns easily. He remembers what he has learned.
Good pronunciation. But what could you have before good pronunciation of those words? But what word is missing? Or what words are missing? Which words can can you put in there? What words make sense? You've said a few. You said a few earlier. You probably can't remember those. So he learns easily.
What?
He learns easily. And so remember we were talking about despite. Could you have despite?
Yes.
Could you have despite?
I don't think so.
No, you can't. Very good. You can't.
No.
But what can you have?
I thought about so.
It's perfect. You could have so. He learns easily. So he remembers what he has learnt. What else could you have? Can you think of any others? Maybe if I...
So I'll go no.
Yeah, you couldn't have although. Doesn't make sense.
Oh, really?
Oh, is that what you said? Although. He learns easily. No, although wouldn't make sense.
No. Yeah. That's what I said. Although, no.
What about... Let me see some others that I could give you. What about this? Would this make sense?
Yeah, I think it works.
He learns... Go on.
There's like lots of connectors that you can use.
There are, but I wouldn't say in any case is one. He learns easily.
Okay.
In any case, he remembers what he has learnt. Doesn't make sense. What about this word?
Therefore. I think it works.
It does work.
No?
It does, yes.
Oh, okay.
He learns easily, therefore, he remembers what he has learnt. He learns easily. What about this word?
No.
No, definitely not. What about this word?
Good.
So it's pronounced thus. Thus.
Oh,
and again, it's TH as well, because again, this is a pronunciation problem that Brazilian people have, because it's not something that you use in Portuguese.
Yeah,
again,
we don't have it.
The teeth between the tongue between the teeth. Therefore,
My
thus.
English teacher taught me a tip to pronounce like words with TH.
Brilliant. Share.
Okay, so you put like your finger like this, like a L.
Yep.
And then you put like this, and then you try to put like your tongue on your finger, and then you pronounce the words like the, though, something like this.
Hang on, so you do that, and what do you do? How? Explain it again. You put another finger between your teeth?
Oh wait, let me put like the camera here. It's like this.
Yep.
And then you like. Let me do like this. You put like your fingers here, like an L.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then you pronounce like the word like the, though.
Though.
And then you try to put like your tongue on your finger. So you have like the sound of the TH.
Okay. Though. So it's just practicing getting your tongue out more. Though. Yeah. Therefore. Thus. Okay. And it's worked.
Yeah.
It's worked for you.
It helped me a lot. So nowadays I don't have problem to say like a thought, think.
Perfect.
So it's okay. Another tip that I think will help like student as well.
Yes.
For pronunciation, I like to read the dictionary.
Okay.
So, for example, you have like the word thought.
Yes.
So, you on the dictionary you have like the word written in English, and you have like the phonetic symbols.
Okay.
So I read that phonetic symbols, and I know exactly how can I pronounce that word. So it's like thought.
Okay. So I mean, phonetic symbols are very difficult to understand, but you've learnt what they mean.
Yeah, I had classes at the college.
Okay.
In Portuguese. In English, I didn't have a lot of classes.
Right.
But I don't know if because I started like practicing like with easy words, and then medium, and then I was getting like more and more difficult words.
Okay.
And if I don't know exactly which sound that symbol represents.
Okay.
But if I just have a look at the symbols in a whole, I know how can I pronounce that word. So
okay.
It's again practice. You need to practice and practice.
Practice and practice. I always say to my students, if you're finding it difficult to pronounce a certain word, you write it down. So let's say thought. When you look at thought, the spelling, it could be difficult to know how you pronounce that word because it ends with GHT, and it's an R sound. So I would put thought, but next to it in parenthesis, you have the phonetic, how you say it phonetically. So obviously it's TH, Thor. In fact, it's like Thor, the superhero, Thor.
Yeah.
So Thor, and it's, in fact, I would pronounce it. Oh, it always changes it. So it's like that. THORT.
Yeah.
Thought. And then again, if you write it down,
you can use to repeat. You can repeat the word.
Yep.
Lots of times. So it's a good way for you to keep practicing.
Yep. Well. Learn how to.
So there is like a lot of ways to keep practicing. And again, the thing is to keep practicing like every day.
Yep.
Like writing or listening to a music or talking with someone that speaks English, reading.
Yep. I'm writing a note for you here. I was almost perfect, but you don't say listening to a music. You say listening to music. Listening to music. Because I know a lot of Brazilians as well, when they're talking about a song, they say music. They call it a music, but it's a song rather than a music. All right, let me give you another one of those lines, and for you to guess the connector. Copy. See which connector goes. Oh no, that's the same one. Hang on.
Okay.
One sec. Copy. So first of all, if you can read that out, let me listen to your pronunciation.
Okay. All were against him. He stuck to his point.
Very good.
Let's see.
Now you can see here that the comma is before he.
Yep.
So let's just take that comma out, because that comma makes it more difficult. So imagine there was no comma. In fact, the comma should go before or after him.
Okay.
That would make more sense. Let me.
Although.
So all were against him, although
Okay.
he stuck to his point. Although all were against him, although he stuck to his point. It kind of works. Kind of works. You could say that. But give me another one, a more common one.
But.
Yeah, that's the one that sprung to my mind. Sprang to my mind actually, because sprung is the past participle. Sprang to my mind. All were against him, but he stuck to his point. Can you give me another one?
Let's see. In this case, you can use like so as well.
All were against him. All were against him. Yeah, you can. Yeah, definitely.
So he is stuck to his point.
Yeah, even though they were, you could say, yeah, even though they were all against him, even though all were against him. No, that then so wouldn't make sense. But I kind of see what you're saying. All were against him, but that sounds like he's adamant. He's adamant that his point is the correct point. So.
I see.
And did you said although, didn't you already? Although he
yes, I said before.
What about this?
And how about therefore?
All against him. Yeah. All against him. Therefore, he stuck to his point. What about this one?
Harry didn't go to church, did his sister? Oh. Nevertheless.
Harry didn't go to church. Nevertheless, did his sister? No, not nevertheless. Because it wouldn't be nevertheless did. Going from nevertheless to did doesn't make sense.
This one is like
Well, actually, there's only one word. There was only one that I can think of.
But
He didn't go to church, but not and again, but
no,
did.
No, yeah,
but did.
Did is like, oh no.
It's a tough word. It's a tough one. So when you think about two people behaving the same, doing the same thing, what word could you use? So, for example, if you changed it around, you said, Harry didn't go to church, his sister didn't, and then a word. And it's a word that ends in ER.
I thought about like, as in the sentence you said, like, Harry didn't go to church, and sister, maybe an and could be. I don't know.
Harry didn't go to church, and.
But in this case, no, it doesn't work.
Let me write it differently because it might help you. So, Harry went to church. No.
I think like the did his sister. So maybe this is like the part is kind of tricky.
It is. Harry didn't go to church. His sister didn't go. And then Maybe that might be a bit easier.
Harry didn't go to church. His sister didn't go.
And there's a few you can put in here.
Don't know. Oh my.
All right. Well, listen. I'll. You could have this word right there. His sister didn't go.
Oh yes, either. Okay. I thought about this one, but it was like, could be.
You thought it could be or it couldn't be.
Couldn't be.
It couldn't be. Why not?
I don't know.
Well, listen.
So, a question.
Yes.
Either it's considered as a connector as well?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Okay. So that's why I thought, and then I thought, like, I don't think it's like a connector, and then that's why I didn't say.
Absolutely, it is. When you're talking about
Okay.
two things or two people.
Either or neither or neither.
Well, exactly. But this is good because would either make sense in that second sentence? Harry didn't go to church. Either did his sister. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Does it?
Let's see.
Really? Either did his sister? Because think about it. We're talking about something that they haven't done, or that
both of them.
So exactly. So if they both haven't done it, it's a negative.
Yep.
So either wouldn't make sense. But what would make sense? And you did say it just a moment ago.
Neither.
Exactly. Perfect. So that's the one that I thought of. Harry didn't go to church. Neither did his sister.
Neither or neither, depending on the pronunciation, right?
Yeah.
Because I've heard either.
Yep.
And also, but I used to say neither.
Yeah. It's one of those words that is pronounced differently, but they're both correct.
Okay.
I say neither. Because it's, yeah.
So if I didn't have like the didn't and didn't, so in this case will be either, right?
Yep.
Okay. Just to make sure. I still remember how this works.
well, if it was Harry did go to church, you wouldn't say either did his sister. That wouldn't make sense.
Okay.
Wouldn't make sense. You'd have to say Harry did go to church. So did his sister. That would be the connector that would make sense. Let's see, because there's quite a few other. What I'll do is, because we're coming to the end, I'll give you this web page that I'm using for you to do as just to help you improve with your connectors. And there's loads and more connectors on here as well, and loads more exercises as well.
Yeah, so your tips on your Instagram, on your Facebook page, they're always really useful.
Brilliant, thank you. I'm glad that you say that. I need to get more followers to make it worthwhile, because it takes a lot of effort to put it all on there, and the videos. So
that tip about YouTube channels that you can follow to practice and learn English, it was awesome.
Fantastic.
I really enjoy it.
Thank you. I'm glad you did. Hopefully more people will check that out. I got that actually from another page on Facebook as well. Innovative. Oh, I should remember its name. It's for teachers, so innovative teachers. If you look on Facebook, I can send you a link to it as well. All right, let me actually give you this web page then. I'll put it as a link, and then you can go to it and continue learning about connectors.
Practicing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's that one. So that's it. What are you? What are your plans for the rest of your holiday? When do you go back to work?
Well, I'm not working.
Oh, at all?
So I'm looking for.
Oh, right, okay, fair enough.
I'm looking for
Fair enough.
a new job.
Well, good luck. Good luck with that.
Thank you.
And you should be able to get a job. You're such a clever person. And
Thank you. Well, I hope I get it soon. You know, as it's holidays, so I think after New Year, so I think I'll get it.
Well, listen, enjoy your holidays. You know, enjoy Christmas time, the New Year. What are you doing for New Year's Eve? What are your plans?
I'm planning to enjoy with my family as well. Okay. And I think on Saturday,
yes,
I'm going to. Have you heard about a pancake night?
Pancake or pancake?
Yep.
Pancake, like the pancakes that you eat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know there was a pancake night. We have a pancake.
Yeah, it's like a
pancake
event
day
of a guy from Netherlands.
Okay.
He travels the world, you know, with like this event, like pancake night.
Okay.
And he'll have like one on Saturday here in Sao Paulo. So I'm planning to go to see how it works.
Okay. It sounds like you're saying pancake, but pancake, Pancake. I'm right. Pancake.
Yes, I think. Yeah.
Pancake. Okay.
Pancake.
Well, listen. Have a great time at pancake nights. Enjoy the pancakes that you're going to be eating. Stuffing your face with pancakes. All right. Well, listen.
Okay.
Take care, and I will see you when I'm back in Brazil.
Yeah, sure, and let's try to practice Portuguese, okay?
Okay.
Don't forget about it.
All right, so you're going to give me a free lesson, yeah?
Yeah, sure, no problem.
All right.
We can schedule.
All right, thank you. Take care. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Thank you. You too. Thank you, Rob. Bye-bye.